Good evening. This is Pradeep Mal from GETI, Global Education and Training Institute. And this is from our series of disruptive education. And we thank Dr. Sunita Gandhi for having provided us this format. And we are extremely happy to welcome Dr. Manju Anand once again. And today she'll be speaking on the lockdown, and she calls it a paradox. She says exposing fragility and exploring abilities. So, welcome, ma'am. And to mention once again, Dr. Manju Anand is the coordinator of activities for CMS Gomtinagar 1, and she is a PhD in education from the Lucknow University. She's very versatile in languages. She's a multilingualist, and she speaks German, French, and Russian, besides for the normal English and Hindi, and I'm sure Punjabi also. I'm sure, ma'am, if she doesn't speak Punjabi, she understands it. All right? She is taught in the IIT Kanpur for 3 years, and she runs the English Ki Pathshala. So, which is basically in Hardoi. So I think she's doing some social work over there, which she will be able to explain to you better. And so I hand you over to Manju Anand, ma'am. Manju Anand, ma'am, all yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, to begin with, here I am again. What I would like to begin my speech is that Secretary General of United Nations, who said in Singapore, despite the enormous scientific and technological advances of recent decades, a microscopic virus has brought us to our knees. You see that how this COVID-19 is, uh, giving a spotlight. It has become a mirror of society. Now we don't need to have the big surveys. Everything is crystal and clear in front of us. What kind of future now we are going to create? I, as a teacher, I am realizing that yes, this is a difficult time. But obviously, this is not a very, very difficult time which cannot be cured. It's a different time because this is the time COVID-19 has exposed, obviously, the kind of advancement we have, the technology we have, the working areas, the ethics, the aesthetics, the research, still it is going on. The employment, the migrants problem, the vulnerable society, the labor class, the rural class, the economy going down and down. You talk about Africa, you talk about Syria, you talk about India, you talk about any nation. No country is safe unless all countries are safe. So in this kind of, scenario, in this kind of where we also felt racism is still existing, we also felt the casteism, we also felt that lack of rationality in the society. We also felt, yes, the gender, that kind of, the sensitization is required. Each and every part, you can say, is clear in front of us. So I have taken it as an opportunity. Fragility is there. What to talk about? Let's talk some positive things. Because if we keep on, talking about pandemic and this coronavirus, so many deaths and this and that, then obviously we have a lot of stress. We are going to lose our own hope. And when, trauma is there, trauma shatters your hope and imagination. And you are end up in frozen personality. I don't want this, my students. We need something to look forward to always. We are human beings. So don't lose hope. You know, you need a clear future. You have to develop now a relationship with your future self, not with your former self. The person you want to be, still you want to be the person. And that should be the driving force. You know, your daily behavior. You know, education is what? Modification of behavior. Now this time has come where you need to change the daily behavior of yours. You cannot avoid change. Do not avoid change. Do not avoid the uncertainty. We have to live with it. But obviously, our own hopes, they are there. Whatever you have thought of, you are going to become. Right? So today, what I thought that I'm going to address my students. Not only the students who are there in 11th and 12th, where I'm activity coordinator, also all those students who are passed out, all those students who are there in IITs, IIMs, and all other big institutions, all those students who have already achieved, accomplished something, and uh, they have the power to bring the reformation. This is my appeal to all of them, that whatever you have seen, the fragility of our own country, please, your thoughts are there. You can't control anything else, but you can control your thoughts. You have the power, you have the talent, you have the potential. Take out. And wherever you are, if you give a bit, then we are going to handle the situation also. You know, if we talk about COVID-19, it has impacted 247 million children, as is reported in United Nations report, where the schools are being closed. Children are not going to schools. 28 million students of preschool, those who are learning, who were there in the Anganwadis, they don't have even laptops. They are not very well versed with the technology. I do agree that government and the bigger institutions, they are providing the e-platforms, the web portals, the mobile apps, the TV channels, yes, radio, podcasts, Diksha platform doing very well, Swayam Prabha TV channel doing very well, e-Pathshalas going on. But still, this vulnerable class, the fragility which I talk about, 247 million children, they're not able to go to school. They don't have the technology access, either due to electricity or due to the ability to run, or they have the smartphones, one or two, but they are not able to use them. And even the Anganwadis, they are closed, right? So already, if you talk about pre-COVID scenario, already 6 millions, they were already not going to school. So added to that, what kind of future we are talking about? So I can only say those privileged class, those who have got this privilege, that they can use their abilities at length, they should come, they should think of the kind of management in future. I hope that this kind of crisis will not happen again, but still you should be ready for that. What kind of technology is required now, that we failed to bring a cure to this coronavirus? Only we have found that how it is spreading. Still researches are going on. We talked about so many hospitals. Just see the medical collapse. How did it collapse? The To talk about the government or talk about, so I'm not here talking and going into the actually about that fragility and talking. I'm concerned as a teacher with my students, because let me give you one example of myself. I, Dr. Manju Anand, I have done my PhD in education. Never before did I implement the theories which I found during my PhD. This is the time which I am utilizing to implement as activity coordinator, because my PhD was on co-curricular activities in different institutions and its impact on the academic and the personality, behavior and all. You can change the personality, that is there. So this is what I mean. I found that this is such a golden opportunity for me to implement, and I found very good result. The kind of result which I could not find at that time when I was doing my PhD, now I am finding it. I had everything in my mind, but I never tried out. The kind of teacher I was in March, transition is there. Absolutely different teacher now. Obviously, the online tools, the Google Meet, the all web portals, all these tools were there, but I never touched them. I used to go to the school, used to teach there, organize some activities, and obviously as a teacher educator also doing with all those old kind of lesson plans, all those kind of psychology and everything in B.Ed, because I used to take classes of B.Ed, used to make teachers. And today I'm finding everything is futile, because the kind of teachers today we require for the society is absolutely different. We are the teachers of this generation, you call it Z, and they are so perfect in all these online tools and already. Obviously, the delivery is ours, the knowledge we have, but how to deliver, that has to be changed. So this, if you feel that from where should I bring this, everything you have in your brain. I always tell my students that when I started learning, the other languages, I thought, how can it be possible? But my teacher, she used to speak 5 languages, and that was a driving force for me, very big inspiration. I used to ask her, how can it be possible, one person, this and that? And she used to tell me that, see, Manju, we have so much of treasure in our mind. It's only the thing that we don't use it. She used to say, just wake up, wake your neurons and axioms up. They all are, in the sleeping state in your mind. And once you realize, you will do it. And that was really a very, very big force for me. This is what even I felt, that in March, when we were in lockdown, we had to do the activities, we had to teach classes and all. Very fast, our school has arranged everything in 1 or 2 days only. We were on Google Classroom. And then the journey started. Within 2 months, we have changed a lot. That is why I felt that this is the time of exploring abilities. Because I'm very close to my students also. So they also told me, ma'am, they only approached me, ma'am, we want to do this, we want to do that. All those students who were very, very busy, in all these academics and all, they were not getting time to do any kind of co-curricular activities to participate in. So they approached me. They told me, ma'am, we know this. We know we are very good at this thing, technology. We are very good at drama. We are very good at this and that. So I said, okay, let's do something. And you won't believe, even I can't believe when I really counted. During this lockdown period, we were able to organize 31 competitions. Let me repeat, it's a great achievement. 31 competitions, and we did not realize. One day our principal ma'am asked me that, please give me the report, how many activities have you done and how many students and this and that. And we were counting and counting and counting and counting. So I said, wow, this is the wow times. You know, is this possible? Yes, it was possible. Inviting guests from, even all the whole world is working from home. So we approached from USA, some of the analysts, they also came to us from South America, they also came to us from Africa also. We called from so many places. We joined. I mean, so many resource persons we could contact, and they joined us, and they gave very good, motivational lectures to all my students. That was a great achievement. So obviously, I would again say that because we are working in such a place where obviously the students, they have all the privilege, they have laptops, they have all the things, and that is why we are able to do. They have very aware parents also. Nevertheless, if they are able to become very good leaders, at least they can go and train someone. I tell each and every one, like I tell all my students, even those who are there in B.Ed and BTC and all, there is a program, each one teach one. Now they should take up this chain. If you have this privilege that you can explore your ability and you are participating and enhancing your creativity, why not share? We are talking about food chain, we are talking about donations, we are talking about, here my appeal is that if you have explored your ability, at least you can teach some kind of skills to one of the students who doesn't have this skill. I'm sure that our own, uh, industrialist and the government and all, they are going to bring some kind of, some kind of, you can say, facility where laptops, or you can say the smartphone, can be provided. It was there, Akash, long back. So similarly, maybe that in the lines that will be provided, but by that time they should at least have that kind of skill, so that they have the kind of desire to use them. So this kind of, technological chain should be there. Use your devices. I used to take classes in BTC, where the students are now, they're teaching in all the Prathmik Vidyalaya. I tell them also, don't sit back. You have got, recently you all have got, very good jobs in all these places. So at least gather those children, teach them. You all have the devices, teach them how to deal with, right? You have to learn. A lot of tools are there, you have to learn. So this is main thing, that without any stress, you are going to do something with your own ability. I was telling you about the PhD. What happens that when you are dealing with children, everyone needs appreciation. So in that, we found, we had categorized the students, like there are some students who are very good at performing arts. There are students who are very good at fine art, students who are very good at orator. I mean, very good orators are there. In literary activities, they're very good. They write poems and all these things. Then they have, very good in sports and all. Sports is difficult in lockdown time, right? Only indoor games can be possible. So, a teacher, first of all, recognizes the hidden talent, the hidden potential of the student. Okay, fine. Every teacher knows about it. But the only thing is that how are you going to provide platforms where they can showcase their talent and get appreciation, where they can use their own, you know, uh, their own exhibition of whatever they have created. So, in this manner, I thought, let's do something. So, during the lockdown period, when we did all the activities, we used to get, 30, videos when we had the singing competition. We got 15 to 20 videos for the dramatics, for elocution. And the students, the way they were working, taking out posters, beautiful posters, digital posters, they were taking out. I never knew that such kind of talent is there. They taught me how to deal with online tools. This kind of, and then when they are documented and when they get appreciation of the management and the principal, the self-esteem shoots up. And that moment the self-esteem shoots up, you see the difference and the modification of behavior, the values, the virtues, how they are imbibed. It's a little thing, very little thing, but it spreads like anything, right? So the only thing is that you have to see that what kind of talent your child has, your student has. And if you keep on, because this is also the time of where we have to deal with students in a very careful manner. Recently, we had one of the trainings going on through this experiential school. So they only taught us, one of the resource persons, that now the time has changed. We have to think in a different manner. We have to change even the syllabus. We have to change even the timetable. We have to change even, the whole lesson plans and all. And in that, what is required is the relationship, the relevance, the rigor, the assessment tools. That also everything is going to change. And here only we are finding our ability to deal with all these things. We have to develop a relationship with our own future self. All right. The person you want to be is the thing which drives you, your daily behavior. Accept this change. And always think in the way that how can you help others, those students who are there, who are going to immediately take over after COVID. They have to see that what can they do for this vulnerable society, the fragility, the very first thing to think of. All those students who are going to become the future leaders, they have to think that this section is also there. And I am able to deal with this section because during this time, I am not amongst the vulnerable society, but I am amongst the privileged society where I did everything I have enough, things to survive in this world. And so now my duty is to make them survive in their future world. There should not be any racism. There should not be any casteism. We have to think in a very rational way. From where do I get this wisdom? We get this wisdom through different experiences. You have enough experienced. You have seen that I told you that COVID-19 has exposed the fragility of the whole world. You know very well now where to work, how to work, when to work, for whom to work, not only for you to work. You are getting, if you talk about, we used to talk about, oh my God, phones should not be allowed. Phones should, if somebody is getting phone in the bag, then we are going to call the parents and all. Now we are telling the students after 3 months, please buy a good phone. Please buy laptops. You cannot survive without them because you will not connected. Then how will you? How are you going to do with? So this is how uh, the time is changing. You have to outsmart your smartphones. The time has come. You have to think to grittify your life. You have to think very, very deeply to deal with this. The growth mindset, it's not the fixed mindset. The learning style has changed. You cannot say that, oh, I'm not able to learn because now that I have a fixed style, that I am a visual learner or I am a learner, I learn it. You just approach your brain. Everything, if you are, seeing something, you're doing something, you're hearing something, you're making notes while doing it. So there is so many things. The modalities, they have been changed. We are talking about the growth mindset now, not the fixed mindset. You have so many avenues to, talk about. Personality can change. It's not that all the personality tests, I say no, I don't believe now in them, because now it's in our hand. Thoughts are there, you can control them. Nobody can take that. So you can change even your personality, right? So this is what my main focus today is. Still the time is there where you see that so many people, they never thought of cooking, they know now how to cook. There was a stigma, all the even now you can see the all male members, they know how to cook. You don't say that even the we are talking about the social networking, but that has become a stress buster. Now all the social sites, networking sites, we, when we are fed up, and then we just want to call up our own relatives, our own friends, and we have these stress busters. That has also been changed. So I am very, very grateful to this, for this opportunity, because now I have tools to be a better learner, a better consumer of information, and a more equipped, agent of change. Right? I repeat this, that I have now so many tools to be a better learner, a better consumer of what? Of information, the information explosion, and a more equipped agent of change, which is required today. And you are going to become like that. Never forget about the fragility. It's a paradox, that is why I call it. Right? So never forget about the ethics. If you are a good writer, try to write. If you are a good poet, try to write. Utilize this time. This is the best time you are utilizing. You see that so many things which were not required, you were busy with. Now what is happening? Each and every useless things, you are just taking it out from your life, and whatever is left is very, very important for you. Okay, so this is what I have to say to all my students. If you're good at art, just try, ah, and post it, share it. You have so many options. Make your video, share it. We have already changed so many assessment, so many tools have come up now, where we are assessing you when you are sending your own video, you are sending your own whatever you have, the masterpieces which you have made. So use it. Don't make this present as meaningless, because you're not losing hope. Use all the platforms, because unless you use it, you're not going to teach to, again, the section I'm talking about. I had to learn a lot to organize so many activities. Along with 31 competitions, I would like to say that we have also taken out the weekly, magazine, where all the students are putting into all their creativity. They're clicking photographs, they are drawing. I know we teachers have to give them platform. We are also taking out the fortnight chronicle, where all the news and everything about this, all these activities are going on. So it's a beautiful world, I found. Students are also enjoying. I am also enjoying this. The one who is being shared with all these things is also enjoying, right? But that does not mean that you should stop here. Again and again, my appeal for my today's lecture is that learn something and share it immediately. Think of the society, the vulnerable society. Whatever you can do, please do it. So, with this, with all those students who are there, who are IS officers, who were there in IMs, who are good engineers, working very well as NRIs, also there are so many. I appeal that please do something, so that we can save these 247 million children who are not able to go to school. We can save these 28 million Anganwadi children. We can save the 6 millions those who are already not going to school. This way, we can just think of something. Everyone is talented. In my last lecture, I told about, I talked about the Hindi language institutes. We do have some of the institutes in higher education. We have to expose them. Again, this is my pain, so I always share this in wherever I go. I always share 2 3 things that I have seen, because by God's grace I had got this opportunity to work in the privileged class in good institutes like IIMs and IITs, in schools in Russia, and also in the vulnerable society, in the rural areas of Hardoi, when I was there in Subhash Chandra Bose. So I had worked even in that. I had seen that the kind of aspirations they have, the rural, the kind of immigration they are doing just to get something. But again, the paradox is there, that we are creating such pathshalas, pratmik vidyalayas, where the syllabus is not, I feel, fit for making them the kind of citizen employability which is required in today's time. Think of that. The children, they are learning very well. They're very good at maths, they're very good artists, they're very good performers, they're very good singers, all kinds of abilities they have. The only thing is, again, comes the platform. They don't have any platform. One or two they get and then they are exposed, but millions of them. And here, if we will not take care of these millions, that means we are wasting the human resource. I would like to again, request my students, those who are able to do something in this line, in education line or somewhere, why not to create some higher education in the regional language? If you go to rural side, you will find that they don't know English. How many medical colleges do we have where we are given education in regional language? How many translations do we have when we talk about the good, books? You go to uh, good books with very, very light translation. We don't have. So they are stuck up. How many MBA institutes are there? If we talk about, this is my, maybe that I'm wrong, this is my view, that if we are thinking of this rural population, that they should, for some startup business or something, how are they going to attract, the investors in their villages? How? How are they going to showcase their talent? Language is a barrier. Either teach them English, a part of it, teach them English or some maybe foreign language also, so that they can at least, become the communicators, the media for their own rural area. If we are thinking of changing the tourism also in that place, if we are thinking of inviting some investors in that place, little bit should be done at the level where we are giving them, the lectures in their own mother tongue or regional language. If not, then we should also bring something in their regional or mother tongue in the higher education, so that they have, they don't have that bridge to cross. They do first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, till the time they complete their 12th. After that, then again they have to start. Again they have to start with all the coachings and this and that. So this kind of, policy makers can think of, if they are there, they can think of doing or changing or bringing some kind of change in that, because obviously now syllabus is going to change. If you talk about that, we are learning all these tools and online teaching, all these things, and we are going to school and then again we are going to the blackboard method. No, now this will not happen. Once we know how to light a gas or how to cook on gas, we cannot go back to chulha. We will find out something, some new things there only. The smart boards are there when we are physically present in the school, but still these tools will be there, right? So what will they get if they get at this time, if they are going to be trained in all these skills, then only they can cross this bridge. Otherwise they have to again start with the technological and this and that, and then they will feel that they are rejected everywhere, and now they cannot go back also to their from where they have been coming. And that is why so much of migrant population you have seen, that they have left their houses to earn money, and miles away from their villages they are working. When that time has come, that is why the COVID, this 19 has shown us that what is the actual scenario. In so many surveys we could not find that. Only one microscopic virus has shown everything, shining a spotlight everywhere, even the medical, even the engineering, even the all the fields you can talk about. So these little things are there. If we really want to do something to remove this fragility, we have to think, explore your ability, and use them, share them. Immediately you share, so many good things are there in our own social networking way. The moment you get a positive thought, you think that you should share it with your friends. Immediately you think of. So immediately when you have some ability, think that those who don't have, how can I make a chain of this, this ability or this skill to mentor the students, those who don't have. If you have in your mind, you will do it. You will find ways. It's not that you yourself will go. You will find so many ways. There are so many media are there. The media person is there. Those who will help you out in performing this job without going anywhere. Right? So this is what I wanted to say for today. I think if you have anything to ask, you can ask. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We have this question, ma'am, which keeps coming up all the time. And basically, he wants to know, Mr. Naresh Rai wants to know if you can share your views how to deal with students from lower socio-economic status with very limited facilities.
Yes, this is what I was telling throughout my lecture, that we are dealing with a very privileged class. And as I told you that not only one or two child, there are 247 million children as United Nations, and they have given this report. So how to deal? See, the very first thing, they have Pratmik Vidyalayas with them in villages. So there, who is working? The teachers are working. I have taught them in BTC and DLED and all. So that is what I am saying. Those students, they are also coming from a very good background, and they have all the facilities, at least to make them aware of these skills, that they can do something. And the government, of course, has to do something, like for this, like midday meal is being provided now. Some kind of iPad or phone, that has to be provided to these students. And the students, those who are there in the Pratmik Vidyalayas, they can be the mediocre. They can teach them how to deal with this, because even we never knew about it, and we are given training to use the online tools. So this is a chain which will go. We have to donate.
So Dr. Manju Anand is very well suited to answer that question, because she runs the English Ki Pathshala in Hardoi, which deals with these students from this socio-economic background that we are talking about.
Yes. For this, I would like to tell you one thing, that when I was a director there, so there we had opened one Pathshala, the global school in Kahli Tarwa, Hardoi. So there, the parents who were very aware, they were all villagers, and it's going on today also. It's going on very well, Pathshala, the global school. And there, the parents wanted to learn, English. So what we did, that through WhatsApp group, we had just added them, and every day I had to give them, in the morning, what will you say? The mothers were learning that. Suppose if I say, okay, in the morning you are going to say uh, come on, get up children, like that, and dialogues in Hindi as well as in English. So that was going on very well there. I mean, they are very eager to learn very small phrases, and the same we are doing now with the CMS, the workers, those who are helping us. So that way, if we want, we can do it.
Thank you, ma'am, for this very enlightening talk that you've given us. And it's full of the experience of the last 2 or 3 months. And I think we are all in the same boat. We've
Yeah.
learned so much. We've
Yeah.
learned so much. And
So much.
yeah, and we
And
can
it's still
speak with,
that journey going on.
yeah, and we can speak with a certain amount of authority on it because we have a lot of practical value in these things.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
thank you, ma'am, and
Thank you
for
so
your
much.
second lecture with us, a second talk
Thank
with
you so
us,
much.
and hopefully we'll have many more of these taking advantage of your great experience. So thank you,
Thank you so
ma'am,
much.
and
Thank
thank you
you. It's
very
my pleasure. Thank you so much.
yeah. Good evening and good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night.